Hi, I'm Sharon Henderson and welcome to this week's Facebook Live. And we are very, very lucky to have Leslie Laws with us today. Leslie is the owner of Just Saying Social, which is an online business management agency. And she provides the whole suite of services, which includes social media management, project management, metric, and launch management as well, because of course once you have that all-important website or that all-important business launch, we need to look beyond that to actually the strategy for how we're going to get the message out there, and that is also Leslie's expertise. What's more, Leslie has some serious talent. She has done amazing things with quite a few of her clients, and one in particular is iSparkle Princess. And Leslie's agency manages the Pinterest social media account for them. And she has achieved a whopping reach of 500,000 for that account. So I know I, for one, am really looking forward to this live because I think we're going to learn a lot from Leslie. So without further ado, I will hand you over so that you can hear from the horse's mouth exactly what she's going to talk about today. But before I do that, one more thing I've just remembered. We have a giveaway today. So all you have to do for this freebie, well, I say a freebie, it's actually a really high value item. It's an SOP opt-in that will be available to anyone who is drawn from the comments. So all you need to do is tune in and you just need to comment #KEM and what you've learned so far from the live, and then at the end we will draw from the comments the lucky winner. So I will stop talking now and I'm going to hand you over to Leslie.
Hi everyone, and thank you for having me, Sharon. I appreciate it.
It's an absolute pleasure.
Nice to be in the group. It's been a great group. You guys have asked some terrific questions. I actually talked with one fellow member about some things concerning getting a website connected to Pinterest. So all the little basics that we're going to go over this afternoon.
Awesome.
So Sharon, you tell me where you want me to start. Do you want me to share my screen? How do you want me to do this?
Whatever works best for you, really. If you want to just give us a general introduction of the Pinterest basics, and then if you've got any slides or images that you want to share, then just go ahead. That will be awesome.
So I do. So I actually have my Pinterest account pulled up. I actually have a scheduling tool that I use pulled up. And then I have some links that I can actually put into the group where you guys can stay in tune with the trends and how to claim websites for different platforms. Because I know some people use Shopify, some people have a website. So you want to claim those things differently. But I will start with the basics. So what I do for Pinterest is all the clients that I have right now, we have started from beginning to end. So setup is completely different from day-to-day scheduling and maintenance. Setup starts with picking your business name, and your business name should always have one keyword. So like mine is Just Saying Social with the up and down line and then online business management. And the reason that is because that's what people search for. They search for the actual words online business management, social media management, WordPress, whatever you are doing, whatever service you're providing, that needs to go to the end of your business name. Once upon a time, they were only allowing 30 characters for that, but they have released that finally, so now you can have it as long as you want, which is great.
Oh, awesome. Yes, that is great. Okay.
Yeah. Different parts of different platforms will only allow so many characters. So your description that goes underneath, well, if you're on desktop, it goes to the side. If you're on mobile, it goes underneath of your business name. So they only allow 160 characters for that section. Right. So you need to be very specific on what you put. So if you look at mine, it says OBM up and down / social media management up and down / project management. I really wanted to break it out and let people know exactly what I do by using the keywords that people search for. And then I did a little bit of a write-up at the very end. I think it says creating and implementing growth strategies.
Okay, cool.
So things like that, you just have to keep in mind anytime you're using a description, anytime you're setting up a business name, you need to make sure you have searchable keywords from Pinterest. And it's real simple to do that in Pinterest. I'll show you when I share my screen so you get a better understanding. But
sorry, I can't picture the up and down key that you're talking about. So that will be really useful to see. Yeah.
Absolutely. So at the very top of Pinterest, when you first log on, you see a search bar at the top, and you use that search bar to search for everything. And if you can type something in and it takes you to another screen that has words at the top, then you know that what you just typed in is searchable. And that is so important when you're setting up boards. When you're using words to describe those boards, those features are very important. Because boards also need to be keyword rich. So if you want something about project management, you might want it to be specific to project management tips, project management tools, project management resources. You're going to want to add several different words to niche it down.
Okay.
The other thing too with descriptions in Pinterest right now, they are not hashtag friendly. You only want to use hashtags with pins. You do not want to use them in boards. We don't have proof or evidence that hashtags are working in that capacity, so we don't really know if they're helping or hurting. So when we don't know, we don't want to use them. We want to stick with the basics.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody 5 to 10 hashtags on Pinterest. It's not like Instagram. You don't want 15 to 30. You just want 5 to 10. You want those to be niched down and basic hashtags on Pinterest. The other thing too, like I said, is trends. Each quarter, you're going to be trending for something else. So like if I was working with a travel client, which I do, we're going to want to talk about, summer break. We're going to want to talk about activities to do outside. We're going to want to talk about things that have to do with summer right now. In the second quarter, it would have been graduation, things like that. But going into the third quarter, now you've got to think about going back to school. And I know that sounds crazy because wait a minute, you're not going back to school till August, but you got to start talking about it in the summer because everything is 3 months behind on Pinterest. Whatever you pin today is not going to get the traction that you really want it to have until 2 to 3 months later.
Wow.
Yes. So your pins are always out there and people can always search them. So that is something to always keep in mind. And that's why you want to keep your topics keyword rich and things like that. So I'm going to quit talking for a minute. And I'm going to share my screen.
I'm actually typing away as we go because this is really good stuff. So I'm getting my notes ready. So if you can hear a click clack, then that's why. It's my keyboard. So yes, go ahead, Leslie. Let's share the screen and see what the visual is.
Yes, let's do. All right, share screen. Here we go. I hope I did this right.
Let's have a look.
Yes,
let's try that one. Okay, and I'm just okay. So that's worked. We just need to pull the right screen on for sharing purposes now. There we go.
Is that it? Can you see it?
Yeah, we can. That's perfect.
Okay, so I'm going to click on my name over here on the left-hand side. This is the desktop version, so it looks a little different from the app, which is mobile. And you can see my reach. My reach is low because I have not been working on myself. I've only been working on clients. Okay, so I'm going to click on my name over here. Is there a little bit of delay now that we're sharing, maybe?
Possibly.
Okay. All right, so if there's any time that you can't see my screen, just let me know.
Okay.
But this is how your actual page looks on desktop. And so you can see that my name is just saying social, online business management. You can see my monthly viewers. Your viewers are going to always be different than your followers. I tell everyone, your followers don't matter. The first 1,000 are the hardest to get. That was what I was taught. I have a phenomenal Pinterest training expert. If anybody needs that contact, I can give that to you. But when she done her course, it's like she said, the first 1,000 people are the hardest to get to follow your page. You want to concentrate on reach. That's all you care about.
Okay. Wow.
Yes. So anytime you go to your screen the first time, it's going to pull pins first. So you can see these are my latest pins that have went up. But if you click on boards, this is kind of how I have mine laid out. I have picked things that will draw in my ideal client, which is what you want to do. You want to talk about things that's going to pull them in, show them what you know, give them ideas that they haven't thought about, because I want them to manage their time. I want them to have access to website stuff. I want them to understand that what they need to do for Pinterest and Instagram, how to schedule, have a strategy, things like that. So anytime you're working within your business, you need to think about what you want your ideal client to see. But as you can see right here, my description, it's OBM, it's social media management, it's project management, and then it's creating and implementing growth strategies for businesses. That's what I do.
Okay, cool.
So if you go behind the scenes, which I know a lot of people want to probably see because I had a few questions, if you go behind the scenes to settings right here, you can see that this is my display name, this is my profile write-up, my location, and you don't have to actually have a location. I changed mine because I wanted people to use the website link to schedule a consultation with me. So that's what I put into that area instead of my actual physical location. So that can be anything you want it to be. And then down here at the bottom is the featured boards. So if I actually go back to my profile for just a moment, and I go to this area called Overview, if I go right here to featured boards, this is a slideshow. So as you see, it's going to interchange with 5 different boards. And it's the 5 boards that I pick that I want people to know most about me.
Yeah.
And so that is a neat feature that Pinterest offers, and they do that under the settings. And you just do that right here where it says featured boards. You just click edit, and you choose your boards.
Nice.
You just use the drop down arrows and you choose your boards. So that feature is very nice.
Absolutely.
Your account settings, that's just your own personal information, what you do and do not want to know about, what you want Pinterest to put on your page. And then this is where you claim your website. And I know a lot of people had some questions about claiming your website. That can be a total pain sometimes.
Oh, I find it to be a real pain, yes. And because I have different Pinterest accounts, things are connected to the wrong places. And just trying to connect to the right Pinterest account's been really challenging.
Right. Yes, it can be. And so I have pulled up a document that says claim your website. And so I will share this within the group so that you guys will have access to it. But this article goes into details about adding the meta tag to your website, because there are several steps that you have to take. And then how to upload the HTML file, whichever way you need to do it. But there's specific instructions for every host. Every host is different. Bluehost is different from GoDaddy. Shopify is going to be different from Squarespace. Wix is definitely different from WordPress. So I will make sure that everyone has access to this portion of how to claim a website, because I feel like that is so important to understand all the little pieces. And it's definitely one of the reasons I took a course, because it's little details like that that make a difference. Like right now you can claim Instagram on Pinterest, you can claim your Etsy on Pinterest, and you can claim your YouTube channel. So you can connect all 3 of those things to your Pinterest account outside of your website. And that's so important, because that's just another area that is seeing what you're doing. That's just another piece of foot traffic.
Yep, absolutely.
And then notifications, privacy data, and security are just like Facebook and Instagram and LinkedIn. You set those up based on what you want to get when people are, notifying you.
Yeah.
Because people are going to follow your boards, and it's going to give you a notification for that. They're going to share a pin, and it's going to give you a notification for that. So it's just all on how you want to receive those notifications. So if I go back to my profile, as I said, you're going to want your boards to be keyword rich. And within those keyword rich boards, you're going to want those to have a keyword rich description. So I have social media strategy tips and tools to help you grow your online presence. And then, of course, I'm offering my opt-in because you want to send them somewhere. You always want to give a call to action with everything you do on social media. If they specifically come to your board and they read something about you, or they specifically come to your profile, just like I have right here, instead of a location, I'm telling them to schedule a consult by clicking on my website. I've given them a call to action, and that is so important on Pinterest. But the other thing with Pinterest is staying up with the trends. And so that's something that I pulled up right here. And this is the 100 Pinterest trends for 2019. And this article basically lays everything out and lets you know what is trending for your business. So you can click travel, health, hobbies, celebrations, food, home, men's style, women's style, beauty, kids and parenting. You can download the entire PDF of all of them. And it breaks each section into specific interest. And it tells you when to start posting them, what quarter to post them in. It's a very neat feature, so I'll make sure that everyone has access to that in the group as well.
That will be great, yes. 100 Pinterest trends.
Yes. 100. And they do that at the end of every year. So what Pinterest does is they take the entire calendar year and they look at what people were searching for, and they say, okay, here you go. This is the top 100 of things that you need to consider whenever you're getting ready to post content to your page.
That's great.
Because that's the other thing that I want to talk to everybody about is I want to talk about group boards, and I want to talk about Tailwind. And so the way you get really seen on Pinterest really doesn't have anything to do with your profile. It has to do with who you're networking with. And on Pinterest, you're networking with what's called group boards. So this is one of my main group boards right here. And as you can see, there's 47 people in it. So if you click it, it tells you the group members. And so they're dropping pins based on what they're told they can do. Catherine, that owns this group board, she has said that we can share tips with each other. So we need to stick to the board topic, and the board topic is social media marketing. So we're allowed to put tips in there about social media marketing. And so when I put a tip in, I have to share, or I guess I should say when I put a pin in, I have to share a pin back. And so when I do that, I'm building a community outside of just my page. So that's how you get seen and followed, is through group boards. Group boards are very important.
Right.
And I'm actually a part of, I haven't even counted lately, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm a part of 11 group boards, and you can be a part of as many as you want. I think the last time I read some stats on Pinterest, you can have like 2,000 boards.
Wow.
I only have 35. I don't know how you manage 2,000 boards. I
don't see, it would have to be a full-time job, wouldn't it, in order to do that?
Yes.
I was just going to ask, because you said if you put a pin on the board, you said you have to then reciprocate by sharing a pin from that group elsewhere. Is that what you said?
Yes. So these are all the pins that are in this board right now. So like tips for blogging with Squarespace, I could actually say, okay, I really like that pin. I want that on my, and this would not be the way I would do it, but it's the way I'm going to do it right now. I want that on my website board. So the DIY website design, I think that's a good one, and I'm going to save that to my board. And so I have pinned a piece of content from that group board from somebody else, because I know I have shared tons of content into this board. Another way that you can do that is through scheduling, which I'll talk about next. But It does take, like we were talking about with 2,000 boards, it takes a little bit of time to do Pinterest. I would say out of all the platforms that I schedule right now, Pinterest takes the longest. And I don't say that to discourage anyone. I just say that because you want to make sure, like if I'm a social media manager or I'm a travel agent, let's use a travel agent, for example. I want to make sure I am sharing content from travel bloggers, not travel agents. Because if I'm a travel agent, I don't want someone to click on a travel agent's pin within my Pinterest account and then go and use them to book that trip instead of me. I want to make sure that I'm using travel bloggers. So it's important to keep things like that in mind. You want content for your page, but you also want to be careful about, is this person doing it for a blog, or is this person doing the same thing you are? And so not really that you're not going to have some pins, because I probably do have pins on mine that are a little bit of competition, but that is just how I stand out. So, that would be what they would base that on. But I try to be very careful when I do that for clients, not share for somebody that does what they do.
Yeah, not to make not to add competition links in, you mean? Is that what you're saying? Yeah, yes. That makes sense. Yeah.
Because you do want that sharing nature. It's that sharing vibe. And so I'll flip to scheduling at this point to show you guys that, because I know someone had a question about what should they be using to schedule. And I use Tailwind. That was what I was trained to use. I love Tailwind. It is a paid for service. You can pay for it monthly, or you can pay for it yearly. I pay for it yearly because it's a little bit cheaper to do it that way. But I think it's like $9.95 or $12.95 a month. Okay. But this is Tailwind. This is how it looks when you log on. And Tailwind tells you so much information. So when you're in Tailwind, you set everything up by connecting it to your Pinterest account. It's very easy. You just come over here, you click on your profile, and you set everything up. You put your payment information in, you connect your accounts. If you have a team that you're working with, you do the team. Email notifications, however you want to be notified. You can connect your Facebook page. There's so much you can do with Tailwind. And so
sorry to interrupt. I just had one question about automation tools. I know that with Facebook, they don't like third-party scheduling tools, and they can, it's all done quite secretly and discreetly, but your posts can be buried. So they reduce the visibility of them. So I just wondered what the impact would be for using Tailwind for Facebook.
So one thing to keep in mind, Pinterest is still like Instagram, even though Facebook owns Instagram. There's no native scheduler. When Facebook rolled out the native scheduler is when they started frowning upon third-party apps. Pinterest does not have a native scheduler. They are beta testing one, and some accounts have access to scheduling on Pinterest, but it takes a lot longer than Tailwind. And they're not discouraging people yet from using a third-party app to schedule into that account. So for now, I would say until they really are like Facebook and they say, okay, we don't want any more third-party apps, I would say use an outside scheduler. And I truly only recommend Tailwind. I know some people love Buffer and they use it, but I use Tailwind because I enjoy the tribes. The tribes are just another group of people, which I'll share with everyone, and how to get in front of a different audience and grow your reach and grow your followers. So that is the only reason that I recommend it.
So do you use it for Facebook or no, just predominantly for Pinterest?
So Tailwind is only for Instagram and only for Pinterest, and I do use it for both of those. Okay. I have really enjoyed it for Instagram. One of the reasons why is because I can create paragraphs and I don't have to have any symbols. I don't have to have any emojis. I can just simply write up a post and design it, and it looks exactly like it should. And I can also tell it to put the hashtags in the first comment line. and not just underneath the description. So I love Tailwind for so many different reasons. They have so many different options. So it's an amazing, amazing tool.
Right, good to know. Thank you. I'll stop interrupting. I'll let you carry on.
No, interrupt all you want, please. I'll talk all night. So if we look under my name right here, you can see that I have Instagram set up and Pinterest. But if we look under my name right here, you see the weekly summary, which is what you're looking at here. It tells you that I've had 3 of my pins repinned in the last 7 days. 22 domain pins, which means it was direct pins from my account pinned. And then I've increased my followers by 15. So if I come right here to tribes, which I've been raving about, you can see the tribes that I'm in. I actually have my own tribe set up. So it's Socially Saying. If anybody wants to join that tribe, you can just type in the word Socially Saying. I'll show you how to do that in a moment, and you can join my tribe. But you're allowed 5. When you pay for the monthly or you pay for it yearly, you get 5. And if you want to increase that, now you can pay a little bit extra money to have more tribes. I think the next chunk is 10. But you can pay to be a part of however many tribes you want to. I only have 5. And so if I go to one of mine, I'm going to go to this one. I'm going to close this out. It will tell you what the tribe is about. So it tells you the topic, and it says, do you want to grow your blogs, your services, your products, your tips, your expertise, your resources, or more? Then the purpose of this tribe is to help each other grow in a variety of niches. So they want people to pin any content they want to. And so they've put tags here to let people know who can come in: lifestyle bloggers, money bloggers, photography, whoever. And then they have rules. And so basically they want, if you put in a pin, you need to share a pin. That's what they want. And you can see that there are 1.4K tribe members. And the overview that it's showing you right here is total for the tribe. They've had 73.7K reshares and 32.2 repins. Now, I know the question is going to be, what's the difference between a reshare and what's the difference between a repin? Repin means that it was actually somebody in the tribe repinned your pin. Reshares means once they pinned that pin onto their page, somebody else pinned it too. So that's the difference. And then underneath here, it says your results. And so that's what it's telling you again right here. You had I have had 11.8K reach just from this tribe.
Wow.
And when I go to the next tribe, which is just bloggers, that statistic will look totally different. I have 11.3K reach. And this one only has, well, this one has 3.1K members. So it has a little bit more members than the other one. So you can see how that can be beneficial to get in front of these people and pinning your content so that other people can see your content. And finding a tribe is really simple. You just click on Find a Tribe. You have a search just like you do within Pinterest. Oh, that's the other thing that I'll give you guys. I'll show you guys how to find group boards, because I know that can be confusing too.
That would be great.
Yes. And I'm sorry my internet's being slow. The power around here is terrible. But anyway, if you click right here within the search bar of Find Tribes, you can type anything in. I can put in social media, and you see it's already pulling up information. There's 283 results just from typing in social media. And so I can go down through here. Some of them want you to send a request, and they want to see who you are. Are you a real person or are you a bot? And some of them are like, hey, you can just go ahead and join. So it just depends. What I tell everybody is to look at the member count. If there's only 2 people in it, probably don't want to join that tribe right now. Go ahead and pick a different tribe with maybe 600 or 700 people. That way you can maybe also build a relationship and get to know. Because when you get into these big tribes of 3,000 and 4,000, you're not going to get that one-on-one interaction. But if you get into maybe like 400, 500, you can maybe start building like a coffee and connections is what I call it. Coffee chats are amazing way to build connections with people. So when you want to do things like that, just think about that when you're joining a group or a tribe. Think about how many members they have.
So you don't want too many members because you get lost. So
Right.
what's the sweet spot for a tribe?
Well, we see that I'm in a couple of big ones, and I switch my tribes out a lot. If I see that I'm not getting the interaction, like I've had 2 tribes in the past, I will back up and I will say that I have not been consistent on my platform. I've been taking care of clients for a long time. So I'm 2 years into Pinterest, and I guess I need to make sure that this room is not getting too dark for you guys to see me. But I have been so bogged down with client work, and I just hired someone this year to start helping me, that I have not been consistent on my page. So now that I'm back consistent, I'm starting to see which tribes are working for me and which ones are not. And several of them I'm thinking about switching out for something else. So it's always a matter of revisiting your tribes and revisiting your groups and which ones are sharing your content and which ones are not, in order to reach your ideal audience.
But in terms of the size of the tribe, what would, because that's obviously one of the determining factors when you're deciding which tribe to join. What would be a good number? Because there's anything like Facebook groups. If you have too many people, you don't really get those connections in the same way as you do if it's a smaller group.
Like I would probably take interest in this one right here, Adrian's blogging and social media tribe. I would probably take time to look at that. It's 268 members. You can preview the tribe, but right here is the about, and if you hover over it, it'll tell you about the tribe, and then it'll tell you the tribe rules. So I would probably entertain that group. I'd probably let one of my tribes go, get into this group, and then once I got into the group, kind of see how it went. And if that went well, I would stay, and then I would revisit another group and switch it out. So I would say anywhere from 250 to probably 3,000.
Okay, cool. Good to know.
Because you want a wide variety of content. And in order to get that you can repin into your page, you're going to need, trying to think how I want to say, you're going to need to have several people in there to have that kind of content, because some people are going to break the rules. We all have rule breakers. They're going to break the rules, and they're going to put pins in there that's not relevant to anybody's content. So, which makes it tough. I'm telling my husband to come turn the lights on, so I don't have to.
I have the same thing happens to me. If it starts raining, then yes, it gets really dark. And you have people with the glare as well, don't you?
Yes. Let's just hope that he hears me. He's watching a movie. All right, so that was tribes. Like I said, you can search for tribes. You can search for anything. I can put in travel. I know I keep using that example, but I have a travel client. You can come in and choose anything and preview it. She's actually in this one, and it's got 2,056. She's in this one. It's got 351. So it just depends. I need this in here, hon. Above the table, please. Yeah, thank you. She's in this one. It's for family travel, because she does a lot of trips for families. So she's in this one, and it's 459. So she's got a wide range of where she's at. So one had 2,000, one had 400. So I think that's a good area to kind of stay in. Yeah. So then the only other part is the publishing part. And so when you click on drafts, and that's why I said I would probably not pin that way, is because whenever you set up your Pinterest and connect your Tailwind account, if I went back to Pinterest and I went to one of my groups, I'm just going to pick one here, go to a different one. Okay, top tools for social media managers. So if I wanted to repin this pin, probably what I would do is hover over it, and it's not showing me my thing right now. Okay, I'm going to try to click this and see if it lets me. It did. Okay, this little blue thing up here at the top is what happens whenever you connect your Tailwind account to your Pinterest account. It wants you to put this little Tailwind connector at the top. And so if I do that, it shows me which pins are the most popular. So it's kind of their way of weeding out the ones that don't have URLs and things like that. Tailwind is very good about that, because the one thing that I had to go back in and do is I had to go in and create a secret board so that I could throw all my pins in it that were no longer connected to my website, because I redid my website. And so once those pins are out there and they're hovering everywhere in Pinterest, if your URL changes, then it breaks on Pinterest. And once your URL breaks on Pinterest and you're using a scheduler, Tailwind is wonderful about saying, hey, wait a minute, this pin don't have a URL, so we can't repin it. And so I love that feature, because then you're not putting pins onto your page that aren't working.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to find one within this group that I think would be good. Okay, here's a quote. Quotes are great. So if I chose the quote and I went to Go Schedule, and then I went back to Tailwind and I clicked Drafts, you can see that this quote is in the drafts. And then I can choose the board that I want it on. And so I'm going to put it on the business quotes, and I'm going to go down here and I'm going to click schedule, and that would be how I would schedule. It picks a slot over here at the side. That's what all of these are. These are all my scheduled pins. I'm scheduled out through Sunday. And so it picks the time slot. And how it does that is so super easy. You just go right here to your schedule.
Yep. I've just full screened it so that we can see.
Yep. And then you click right here where it says recreate schedule. That's all I do. I let Tailwind tell me when people are on my Pinterest page, because Tailwind is synced to your Pinterest account, and it's learning everything about your Pinterest account. It's learning when people are commenting. It's learning when people are repinning. It's learning everything about you. So when you click recreate schedule, all you need to pick is how many pins you want to go up per day. I do 10 a day. Some people do 15. But I don't recommend more than 10 or 15, because you can overwhelm it.
Okay, I have a very poorly little boy.
I know. I'm so sorry.
So I think I'm going to have to go and see to him. Absolutely. What you've done has been so fascinating, and I think we can revisit it. I think we should have a part 2, because I'm definitely keen. And these are the joys of being a mompreneur.
It is, and I tell you, I know we all understand, so it's totally fine. But yes, any questions that you guys have, just please feel free to drop them here. I'm going to try to come in throughout the week. I will be traveling next week, but I'm going to come back in. I'm going to go ahead and drop some of these links that I've shared and some other information I've talked about. And I look forward to seeing who wins the drawing and being a part of the group and getting to know everybody. So.
Yes, thank you so much. What you've shared is really awesome. And I'd really like to do a part 2 if we can tee up.
Love that.
That would be fantastic. And so we'll keep talking in the group. And thank you so much.
Thank you. And I hope your child gets better.
Thank you so much. Take care.
Have a great night.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. And I will catch you in the group shortly. See you. Bye-bye.
Bye.